Sarah is a PhD student at UTC. She lives in a big house with 4 other students from her program. One Friday night, she went out for coffee, and when she returned home, she found her super expensive laptop was missing. It had her top-notch research in it. She suspected that one of her housemates might have stolen it, so she decided to conduct an investigation. Alex, the oldest of them all, said he had been working in his room all day long and that he had been so focused on his work that he didn't see or hear anything out of the ordinary. Ben, who was one of Sarah's best friends, said he had been watching TV in the living room while she went out and hadn't seen anyone go in or out of the house. And Chloe, Sarah's apprentice, said she had gone out for groceries about the same time Sarah had gone out for coffee. After hearing all of them out, Sarah knew immediately who had stolen her laptop. Can you guess who did it? It was Chloe. She said she had gone out for groceries. But Ben was in the living room the entire time and didn't see anyone leave the house. She probably stole it to see the secret things Sarah had been working on. It's a rainy morning in New York City, and 3 influencers are waiting for a cab in the rain. One of them is in Brooklyn Heights, the other is in Chelsea, and the last one is in Bushwick. Take a look at the image. Can you tell who is going to get wet first? It's definitely the one who is in Bushwick. See how the rain is coming from behind her? That umbrella is not going to help very much. A group of friends were backpacking through Europe during the summer. During the last week of their trip, they decided to go to Italy. They spent the morning visiting ancient ruins, and by lunchtime, they were ready for some pasta. They sat down at a local restaurant and ate delicious Italian food. But when it was time to pay the bill, they noticed their wallets were missing. Since they didn't have money to pay for their meal, the restaurant owner called the police. As soon as the police arrived, they questioned each one of the travelers. "I remember seeing Alice with her wallet before we left the hostel," Emily said. "Well, I did have my wallet with me, but it might have fallen in the last Uber drive we took to get here," Alice said. "I'm sure I had my wallet with me when I got to the restaurant, but I just can't seem to find it now," Jake said. "My wallet was in the bag the whole time, but I just noticed someone opened it and left it open," Lily said. The police officer wasn't sure whether the group of travelers was telling the truth, so he asked to see the restaurant security footage. Take a look at the image. Is the group of friends lying or telling the truth? They were telling the truth. Look at that suspicious guy that entered the restaurant. He pretended to be a waiter to get close to the table. But he stole all of the travelers' wallets. Yike! We're talking a master pickpocket here. A small town only has 3 detectives. Since they all claim to be the best detective in town, the mayor came up with the ultimate challenge to determine once and for all who is the best. On that evening's TV announcement, the mayor said, "My cat Whiskers just went missing today, and I need the best detective to find him within 24 hours. The town's detectives, Toby, Juan, and Chloe, got to work immediately. Each of them adopted a different investigation method. Toby thought it was best to interview the mayor's neighbors to see where they had last seen Whiskers. Juan searched the town's main open public areas, such as the parks and playgrounds. And Chloe decided to follow the thin trail of cat fur and footprints starting from the mayor's place. Can you guess who found Whiskers first? It was Chloe. By following the trail left behind by the cat, she found Whiskers a few miles away from the house and won the title of the best detective in town. Liam was a famous engineer working at Gentech Corp. He had recently won an award for inventing an AI-driven robot assistant. One day, he arrived at work and found that his highly secured lab door was open and his robot was missing. His lab was protected by high-tech security devices, so he knew the person who broke in knew what they were doing. He accessed his computer logs and found a sequence of numbers that looked out of place. The numbers were 12, 9, 6, and 5. At the bottom of the page, a 4-spaced box appeared, asking for a key. He tried typing the numbers in, but they didn't work. He reflected upon them for a while and realized they were hiding an encrypted message. He discovered that the numbers translated into a word. Can you figure out what the message was hiding? Liam understood that the numbers were referring to a letter of the alphabet. The 12th letter is the letter L, and the 9th letter is the letter I. So, the sequence makes up the word LIFE, which is pronounced life. He inserted the word LIFE into the box at the bottom of his computer, and 4 different videos opened up on his screen. Each one of the videos showed a different location. The first video showed a park right next to Liam's office building. The second video showed an electric car shop. The third video showed Liam's living room, and the last video showed a theme park. Liam guessed that these images were a clue to where his robot might be. Can you help him choose the most likely place where the robot could be? If you look closely, the robot's legs appear in the first video. Liam headed down to the park, hoping to find his robot assistant. As soon as he arrived, he saw the robot sitting on the park bench alone. Liam looked extremely confused. He went up to the robot and asked it how it managed to escape the lab. It said it would only answer Liam if he correctly guessed what phrase was hidden in this enigmatic image. Can you help Liam figure it out? Oh, this sure is a clever robot. The phrase hidden in this image is, "I have my own life." I guess this AI robot was asking for some space of his own, huh? The robot finally admitted he escaped from the lab by himself. Liam was shocked because this was not programmed at all. When he tried entering a command to make his assistant follow him back to the lab, the robot multiplied into 2 other virtual robots. Liam wasn't paying attention at the moment, so he got confused as to which one was the original robot. Can you tell? It's the third one on the right. See how the sun reflects on its metal, but not on the other ones? Meanwhile, it was Johnny's 7th birthday, and the family decided to celebrate with a picnic at the park. The entire family was there, including the 2 dogs, Luke and Obi-Wan. During a game of throw and catch, Luke went missing. The family searched the nearby woods but couldn't find their pet. That's when they decided to call the police office. The police listened attentively to each family member's account. The dad said that he had seen Luke chase a squirrel deeper into the woods. Mom said she had heard Luke barking from the riverbank. Emma, Johnny's sister, said she had heard Luke barking from the meadow. Ethan, Johnny's older brother, said he could have sworn seeing Luke head toward the park's old bridge. based on each one of the family members' accounts. Where should the police officer look for the dog first? He should start at the old bridge. Ethan was the only one who gave a specific direction to where the dog might have headed, so that's probably the police's best guess for now. Oh look, there's Luke. He has a unique bark. Darth.
Loki is hiking in a chanted forest. Suddenly, he gets into a magic trap. A wicked wizard, whose name is Olaf, offers him a deal. I'll set you free if you manage to crack all my riddles. First of all, organize these objects in order of invention. Olaf shows Loki a wheel, a lighter, a vase, a bow, and a light bulb. Can you help him put them into the correct positions? The bow is the oldest invention. Then goes the wheel, the ancient Greek vase, and the light bulb. And finally, the lighter. Next, Olaf shows Loki 2 pictures of his favorite fairy. Can you spot 3 differences between them? Here they are. The next task for Loki is to guess a word. Even when it passes in front of the sun, it doesn't cast a shadow. What is it? Wind. Olaf shows Loki a table with magic potions and ingredients.
Ooh.
He marked all the ingredients with the colors that they create when added to the potion. Loki has to guess which ingredients were not used in these 3 potions. Can you help him? We need red and yellow for the orange potion. For the blue one, dark blue and white. And for the dark green potion, we need green and black. So the extra ingredient is the pink one.
Yeah!
Loki cracks the riddle, and Olaf asks the next question. What stones will you never find in a river? Do you have any clue? Dry stones. The next task for Loki is to serve the wizard's girlfriends. Roxanne says, I don't want my cocktail to have any yellow fruits or berries. Sabrina says, I want my drink to have an ingredient that starts from the first letter of my name. And Cassandra says, I don't want any green or red ingredients in my drink. There are 3 cocktails in the fridge at the moment. Can you help Loki distribute the drinks among the ladies? The second cocktail is yellow, so it doesn't have anything red or green. It's for Roxanne. The first one is for Sabrina, because it has strawberries. And the third drink is a blueberry milkshake, so it fits Roxanne's order.
Oh, yeah.
Olaf is satisfied with Loki's intelligence, and he offers him a job.
Yeah!
Loki agrees and becomes the wizard's assistant.
Yeah!
His first task is to clean the kitchen.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Olaf goes into the woods to collect some herbs. He comes across a toxic swamp and immediately gets sick. He needs a special potion. So Olaf sends Loki a letter with his crow. I need your help. Here are several recipes. Don't go anywhere. Prepare 1 potion and send it to me with the crow. Which potion should Loki make? Can you help him? Olaf says that Loki shouldn't go out, which means he can only use the ingredients that they have in the house. So Loki can't cook the first and the third potion. As for the second one, all the necessary ingredients are in her kitchen. Olaf gets better, but he still needs to stay in bed. So he sends Loki to the pet shop. The task is to buy a new cat. Olaf wants it to look like the cat that lived with him before. It must have green eyes and a 1-color tail. Also, it shouldn't have any black wool, and it shouldn't be tabby. Can you help Loki find the right cat for Olaf? Only this cutie meets all the requirements. The next day, Olaf sends Loki to a wild beach to collect some rare magic seaweeds. Suddenly, Loki sees a group of beautiful ladies standing on the shore. He wants to approach, but the ladies notice Loki and begin to move in the opposite direction. Loki runs after them on the sand along the water, but he can't catch up. Then Loki looks around and realizes that he was chasing fairies. How did he know? Loki ran after those ladies on the sand, but he can only see his own footprints. The fairies were flying. Loki dives under the water to collect the seaweed. He sees a little mermaid there. Then he floats to the surface and dives again. Can you spot 3 differences under the sea? Here they are. Olaf's daughter, Salma, is a talented young witch. She likes getting into trouble. And this time, she was put in jail. Loki comes to the police station to rescue her. He pays bail, and the police officer is going to release Salma. One of these ladies is about to be free. Can you guess who? Take a closer look at the photo in his hand. Salma has brown eyes, so he should release the second prisoner. Loki and Salma should go back to the wizard's house, but the enchanted forest has many unexpected surprises. There are 3 possible routes they can take. There's a fire-breathing dragon sleeping in the first passage. There's a young magician hanging out on the second road. He hates all women, and he turns them into stones every time he meets them. And the third road runs through a toxic lake. Breathing its vapor is fatal for any living being. Which way is more or less safe? The guys can take the second route. Salma isn't just a woman, she's a witch, so she can deflect the black magic. The guys keep on walking and see an amusement park. The owner is very upset. Someone has stolen many tickets from the register. Loki offers to investigate this case. First of all, he looks through the footage. He's sure that the thief is still in the park. He questions 3 suspects. Billy says, "I rode the carousel and I got very sick, so I wouldn't ride anything else, even for free." Miles says, "I'm celebrating my 17th birthday today. My friends and I rode the roller coaster 3 times, and now it's time to go home." And Jessica says, "I only visit the Ferris wheel. It's my favorite." Miles has tricked Loki. He's too young for the roller coaster. There's a sign. People under 18 years of age can't ride it. Loki and Salma continue on their way and find 3 apple trees. Salma wants to pick some apples for a magic punch, but only one of the trees is safe. Can you guess which one? All the footsteps are leading to the first tree, but not a single animal walked away from it, so it probably has some hidden danger. There are some creepy runes on the trunk of the second tree, so it's probably cursed. Therefore, they should choose the third tree. The guys are picking the apples and putting them in Salma's hat, and suddenly they meet someone very curious. Crack this rebus if you want to know who. A bear. The guys run away from the bear and hide in a cave. Luckily, Salma managed to collect 14 apples before the escape, because they met 7 hungry gnomes inside the cave. They demand payment for the shelter. How can Salma divide the fruits among the gnomes so that each gnome could get an equal amount of oranges? It's impossible because Salma doesn't have any oranges, only apples. Finally, Loki and Salma return to Olaf's house. Loki takes a look at the porch and says, "Wait a minute. Something has changed since I last saw this porch. Look, I have a picture. Can you spot all the changes?" The runes at the door are now reflected. The plant from this pot is gone. The curtains have changed color, and the number of candles is different. Loki enters the house and finds Olaf unconscious on the floor. Someone put a sleeping spell on him and stole his magic tools. Loki interrogates 3 suspects among Olaf's neighbors. Cassandra says, "I just got home from a pumpkin festival. Everyone can verify my words." Ambrose says, "I've been retreating and meditating in my basement for a week. I have no idea who did it." And Roxane says, "It wasn't me, but I guess it was Cassandra. She's just jealous that Olaf decided to date me." Who did it? Take a closer look at the witch's cauldron in Ambrose's house. There's an engraving saying Olaf's property, so he's the thief.
Molly, Holly, and Sally are going to the prom in a fancy limousine, but the car breaks down on the way. The party hall is nearby, so the ladies decide to walk. Suddenly, it starts to rain. Luckily, all 3 ladies have umbrellas, but still, one of them gets wet. Can you guess who? Holly. Her skirt is wider than the diameter of her umbrella. Finally, the ladies arrive at the prom. All of their friends look very elegant and fancy. Leah is wearing very expensive designer shoes. Bella carries a Chanel bag. Alice is taking selfies with the latest smartphone. And Kim is showing off a sparkling diamond necklace. But in fact, only one of them is wealthy. Can you guess who? Take a closer look at the logo. Bella's Chanel bag is fake. Leah's shoes are way bigger than her feet, so she probably borrowed them from someone else. As for Alice, the smartphone in her hand is not hers. It has Kim's name on it, so Kim is the richest person here. Kim goes to the dance floor. Bobby, Billy, and Kenny invite her to dance, but one of these guys was bitten by a vampire, so he's not safe to dance with. Can you guess who? Bobby has a red mark on his shirt, but it's just lipstick. Billy's drinking something red, but it's just a cherry punch. Meanwhile, Kenny doesn't have any shadow, so he's a vampire. Kim goes to the ladies' room, but all 3 stalls are occupied. There's a robot inside one of them. Can you guess where? Let's take a look at the first lady's feet. Ouch! She's rubbed multiple corns with her fancy sandals. She can't be a robot. As for the third lady, her pedicure is too messy for a robot. Therefore, the robot is in the second stall. Bella asks Kim to take her picture. Kim takes a couple of shots. Can you find 3 differences between them? Here they are. Kim goes back to the party and spots a runaway criminal among the guests. Can you see this person too? It's the show host. He's hiding a prison robe under his suit. At the party, Bella gets bitten by a vampire too. Kim takes her to the hospital. They meet 2 doctors in the lobby. One of them is an imposter. Can you guess who? Real doctors wear gloves, and the woman on the right doesn't wear any. Bella gets into a hospital ward with 3 other people. One of them is not sick. Can you guess who? The woman on the left looks perfectly healthy. She has her lipstick on and a glamorous hairstyle. Although her arm is broken, it doesn't mean that she's sick. Kim comes home from a long day. She's very excited to treat herself with a bubble bath. She's been dreaming about it all day. But someone used up all her bubble foam. Kim interrogates her family members. Father says, "I spent all day at the garage repairing my old car, and I haven't visited the bathroom yet." Mother says, "I was feeling sick all day, so I didn't pay any attention to your beauty products." And Kim's brother says, "It wasn't me who took your bubble foam, but I think it was Mom." Who did it? Take a closer look at Dad's beard. There's pieces of foam on it. Busted! The next night, Kim goes to a sleepover with her friends. One of them is a werewolf. Can you guess who? This guy is a werewolf. Take a look at his claws.
Oh no.
Kim puts some cash in a stash in her room and leaves for Granny's house. In a couple of days, Kim returns and realizes that someone had stolen her money. How did she guess? Kim's stash was in this book. It was on the shelf when she left, and now the book is gone.
Oh God.
Kim runs to the living room and yells at her family. "Who stole my book?" Everyone swears to have nothing to do with the robbery, but Kim spots the thief right away. What about you? It's the brother. He used the book as a stand for his PlayStation. Kim is watching a TV program about risky sports.
Oh.
Can you help her guess which guy has a better chance of survival?
Oh God.
The one who's falling into the snow has a higher chance to survive. Hitting the water can be tough, and he still needs to get out of the ocean. Kim's dad wants to buy a boat. His agent arranges a meeting with 3 people. Each tells a brief story about their boats. Karen says, "My husband gave me this boat 5 years ago as a wedding gift. That's why it has my name. But now I want to sell it because we don't use it." Charles says, "I inherited this boat from my father. It works very well, but I don't need it because I'm moving abroad." And Liam says, "I built this boat on my own, but now I'm building a bigger one, so I'd like to sell it to get some cash." One of the sellers is lying. Can you spot who? Take a closer look at the first boat. Its name is Karma, not Karen. Therefore, she's a liar.
Oh.
Kim goes to the nearby hardware store to buy something for her home. Kim asks, "How much for the one?" The shopkeeper replies, "It's $2. Then Kim asks, "How much for 11?" The shopkeeper replies, "It's $4. And finally, Kim asks, "How much for 100?" And the shopkeeper replies, $6. What is Kim buying? She's buying a house number. Each digit costs $2. Kim's cat, Fluffy, ran away. She's been looking for him in a forest all evening. Finally, she gets tired and heads home. But suddenly, she sees a witch's house on the way. Kim enters and faces the witch. Fluffy is sitting on her lap. The witch says,
"I'll release your cat if you crack my riddle. I have 2 besties who are identical twins.
Emma was born in 2003 and Gemma in 2004.
How is it possible? They're twins, but they were born on New Year's Eve. Emma was born right before midnight and Gemma right after midnight.
Duh.
The next day, Kim meets a handsome guy who likes puzzles. She asks his name, but instead of answering directly, the guy writes a date on a piece of paper. Can you help Kim figure out his name? Each number implies a particular letter of the alphabet. The guy's name is Theo. Theo invites Kim to an art exhibition. Take a look at these squares. Which one is bigger, yellow or green? All these black and white squares usually confuse perception, but it becomes obvious that the green square is larger than the yellow one if we put them away. Kim asks Theo, "What month were you born?" He replies with 4 emojis. Can you guess the month? Jack-o'-lantern stands for J. The next emoji implies U. Nut stands for N, and eggplant stands for E. Theo was born in June. Kim and Theo go for a walk in an abandoned village. They see a sign leading to a famous haunted castle. There are 4 possible routes, but only one of them will actually lead them to the castle. Can you figure out the correct way? It's way easier to untangle this maze if you start drawing from the final destination. They should take Route B. Finally, Kim and Theo find the castle. They enter the property and see a fancy living room. There are 6 zombies hiding in the living room. Can you spot them? Hello! The guys run away from the zombies and hide in the basement. They wander around and see 3 doors. Suddenly, the basement begins to get filled with water. Kim and Theo have to choose a door quickly to escape. But each door has a surprise. There's a tank with a family of sharks behind the first door. There's a deep hole with sharp venomous corals behind the second door. And there's a tank with piranhas behind the third door. Which door is more or less safe? The second door. The basement is full of water, so they can swim over the corals.